Are you frustrated with online dating? Confused by all the new apps and fancy dating sites? Do you find yourself choosing the wrong person again and again? Well, studies show that hiring a dating coach can maximize your online dating experience. So no worries, I've got you. And I've created a virtual course called Doing Dating Right. It's a 5-video series that you can complete at your own pace in your own space, right at home. How to write your online dating bio, pick that perfect picture, and so much more. Want more info? Go to my website at jenniferhurwitz.com. Again, it's jenniferhurwitz.com. Good morning. Good morning. This is Doing Relationships Right. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, and I'm your host every Tuesday and every other Friday, sometimes for a Just Jen episode. And I'm here today, and I'm so excited to have to take a deep breath and take a little calm here. I'm a little obsessed with this woman that's here with us today. It's Saskia Nelson.
You nailed it. Thank you.
Saskia, I love you. Your pictures are fantastic. Are you the CEO and the owner? How do I?
Yeah.
Hey CEO.
Yeah, CEO is
yes,
great.
CEO of Hey Saturday, which is what exactly? It's not a dating site. It's a picture. Tell me exactly how do I call it? What do I say?
Yeah, it's a dating photo agency. We're the first in the
There
world.
we go.
So I made it up, but it kind of
You
works.
made it up.
I made it up.
Photo agency. Okay, so when I look at your stuff and when I go to your profile and I go to your feed on Instagram and I look at your website, I am in awe first of the colors and the pictures and the aesthetics, and it's beautiful and it's fantastic. And then I think to myself, why don't you live here closer to me? Why aren't you in So you're home based in London, correct?
Yeah, so it started in London and then it spread out across the UK major cities, and then we've been in New York and LA since 2015. So yeah, I got to the States eventually, but not to Carolina, I'm afraid.
Oh gosh, well, you know what? One day maybe I'll just hop over to LA or New York and get my pictures taken. So tell me, let's start off at the beginning and tell everybody how you started, where you got this idea, and how it happened.
Well, like most dating experts, I started off doing online dating for about 9 years, and it was a bumpy start at the beginning, and then I really got into it actually because I sort of set lots of boundaries and things like that. But I guess the idea for Hey Saturday came out of all my experiences, and obviously it was a long time ago now, but because I've been with my partner for quite a while now. But back then the photos were just awful, and you know and it was and I'm a creative, I'm a visual person, and at the time I was working at Sky TV, and when I was working at Sky, what I learned about photos is the power of communication, and how a good photo can totally like give so much information about something at a quick glance. And I realized that with online dating, like you literally have like fraction of a second to capture someone's attention. The world's busy, especially the online world, and people are swiping like so fast. And so I thought, well, imagine if you like used a really strong visual image to sell yourself, and a set of these as well, then you'd really start to make an impact. So I kind of, from that experience of online dating and also working in this kind of very visual kind of media world, I thought, well, I'm going to try and combine the two. And I Googled it and no one was doing it anywhere in the world. And I thought, I don't understand why, but I think if you have a photo agency that just specializes in dating photos and works with people and helps them create a set of images that really just tell people at a glance who they are, what they're about, what they're into, what their passions are, what their lifestyle is. And so that's really how I suppose Hey Saturday came out of the aesthetics of making this powerful impact, but also the messaging underneath that, and you can include in photos by telling people at a glance just something more interesting about who you are and anything. And then if you have like a set, so if you create a set intentionally rather than like a random bunch of photos that you get from, oh, that's me on a beach and that's me up that mountain, and like everyone does, I'll include this Spartan selfie because I like what I look like. Instead of doing that, but being a bit more intentional about what you're saying in your photos and what you include in your set, you can then like tell this story that really tells people, and the story you want to tell is, I love my life, but it'd be even better with you in it. And if you can tell
Oh,
that story and say what it is about your life that you love, and you're sharing, your kind of your passions, your interests, your lifestyle, your vibe, then you'll be able to connect more meaningfully with, with like-minded people. So that's
it's
really where the
brilliant.
idea came from.
It is brilliant. It is brilliant. I'm like, my mouth is on the floor because as a dating coach, that's where people struggle. They come to me and they're like, I have this picture of me holding a fish. And I'm sure you hear that all the time, and I
Oh
have a
yeah.
picture of me with 12 of my girlfriends at the bar. And I'm like, oh, for the love of no, this is just brilliant.
Uh,
It's
the
absolutely
12
brilliant.
girlfriends at a bar. I mean, why? Why? That's like, for me, that's one of the worst things. For a start, I've got like face blindness, and lots of people actually do. And that means you can't see faces very easily. You can't recognize them. But more to the point is, if you're using a photo with lots of like girls in it, if you're a girl, then basically the guy's going to be looking at all these other women, right? And
Of
if you're a
course.
guy and you've got all these women around you, the girl's going to be thinking, hang on a minute, like, is he going to be exclusive? Like, what's happening here? Has he just got
Right.
loads of girls that he hangs out? You're kind of putting obstacles in the way because you're giving people a reason to start thinking negatively about you. So, yeah, it's really like group shots are literally my top pet hate. It's all about being
I
the
mean,
start of your
I
own
agree.
photo shoot. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the way that you do it, I love how you say you tell a story and you be intentional about it, right? So I have a lot of clients that come to me and they're like, "Well, I don't think that I should do professional. It makes me look like needy, or it makes me look like I'm
Okay, that's so
text. Yeah,
2013.
please,
Like, come
let's do
on.
it. Tell me, give it to us straight. I love it, right? It's so 2013. Like,
It
go
is
ahead,
really.
let's
I
do
mean,
it.
look at us. We live
Yeah.
in a visual age. We live in the time of Instagram where everyone is documenting themselves, their dogs, like everything. So that kind of reasoning doesn't really fly now. I mean, I get it,
I
but
agree.
I think with Hey Saturday, it's very much about creating natural shots that, not like done in a studio, and
Yep.
like, yeah, obviously those look really naff and they're not going to work. But if it's you looking really good, but just like out and about, like doing your thing, doing something you love, showcasing your passions and your talents or whatever, then, that's great. People are, they're happy to see that. They're not going to sit there going, well, it looks like this person's tried too hard. So I think I'm going to give them a miss. Really? Or, I think they're not going to be thinking that. They're more likely to be thinking, what are they doing in that photo? Oh, I really love that book. Or, oh, they like boxing too. And those are the kinds of thoughts that you want people to be having when they look at your photos.
Absolutely, and it's funny because when you do look at the pictures on your feed and of these people that are, you think to yourself, wow, like they don't even look like I mean, of course they're professional, but they really look like they're loving what they're doing. The
Exactly.
way
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
I think the key
They
is
just
trying
look
to
great.
get people to like enjoy, like to actually just have a good
Yeah,
time on a photo shoot. Because
yeah,
obviously it's something people aren't geared up to having a photo shoot. Most of our clients have never had one before, and they're like, "Why am I doing this?" Like, I just really want to have good impact on dating
yeah,
apps. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. I don't want to be doing it. That's kind of where people come from.
yeah,
So our whole ethos is trying to get people like just saying, look, like treat this as like an experiment, a bit of fun, a bit of an adventure. We actually call our photo shoots adventures because, it's an opportunity to just like go with the flow and go, do you know what, I'm going to get out my comfort zone and do something for me that's going to help me in my dating life and take a bit of control back. And then, our photographers are all amazing people. Like, not only are they talented photographers, but they're just so good at getting people to relax, from that state of like, oh, I don't want to be here. What am I doing in front of this
right,
lens? To like, oh my God, you know what? I'm actually having a good time. This is all right.
yeah,
And if you can just get in front of the lens and do something you love, that really is like one of the biggest tips to kind of like, if you can get into flow, you forget that you're in front of a lens, you start to
I love
relax,
it.
you start to literally enjoy yourself. Like,
Yeah, because your
and
personality comes out, right?
yeah,
Um,
and I think that's what's happening in the photos that I'm kind of showing online is I'm showing the people who are kind of like have got to that stage in the shoot, like hopefully quite quickly, where it's like, yeah, this is actually all right. It's strange, but I like it. And I really love boxing, so I'm just gonna like do some sparring, or I love like cycling, so I'm just gonna have my bike like next to me or whatever.
yeah,
And the minute you hold something you love, you kind of like your body language
that's so true.
relaxes, you feel good, you know what I mean? Or you do
Yeah,
something you love, or you wear something you love, you just feel good, and that will
or the
come across in the photos.
I love it. Okay, so here's my question for you. If we can't get to you because we don't live in London or New York or LA, do you have any tips for my listeners what they can do? Like, obviously, we have everyone knows. I mean, professional photographers around, but not everybody knows what to do like you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you suggest? What give me some tips, or what are you suggesting
Okay.
for people?
Yeah, so I would you can do good photos on an iPhone. So get a mate who knows their way around an iPhone, and lighting is the most important thing. So just getting the technical specs right. And if you're not sure about lighting, face the light source. So, like go like if you're inside, face the window and have the shoot done that way. But better still, go outside because you'll create more dynamic shots, and find some nice even lighting. So once you've got the technical stuff set up, the most important things are making sure you look good and you're feeling good. So, putting on your hot first date outfit or whatever, getting some outfits that you feel good about yourself wearing. And then, so yeah, making sure you look good, and then making sure that you are kind of using the right body language, because that counts for a
Mm,
lot. So the minute you use closed body language, you look a bit nervous or you look defensive, or if you're a guy and you've got like your arms crossed, it can come across as aggressive. So immediately, like to help you relax, do some deep breathing, loosen up your body language, open it, stand tall, stand proud. It makes a massive difference. You'll feel better as well. And then just like practice. I always say if you're doing it at home, on your own with a mate, like just experiment. So, maybe kind of
yeah,
doing a lot of moving, try different smiles, different vibes. And again, it's going back to what we teach our clients. So bring along things that you really love about yourself, or you bring along things that you're passionate about, that you're into, things that make you stand out from other people. So for me, for example, obviously I love photography, so I'd have my camera. I also love drawing on my
absolutely.
iPad, so I might bring my iPad and my Apple Pencil and have some shots of me doing that. I also love dancing, so whether I
Me
dance in
too.
the street, I don't know, but I probably would, like just have a little spin. And so it's really thinking about how you want to show your elements of your personality, and doing that in front of the lens. And if you're with a good mate, that's quite easy. I think, especially women are quite comfortable doing that sort of thing, just playing
Yeah,
around. And you do it for Instagram now, so you can do it in front. You can do it in front of your mate. So yeah, and the minute you start doing something you love, like I said before, you just start to kind of feel more relaxed and more chilled. And then to make sure your photos are really eye-catching, I would recommend, so make sure you check what's in your background. That's obviously really important. You don't want like an old
oh,
rubbish bin or anything. So just have a look behind you. I would recommend something nice and clean and colourful if possible.
oh,
So
colorful. So should
it
they
might
wear
be.
color? Wear, wear color
Yeah,
or no?
so if we want to create authentic photos, so you need to ask yourself, do I wear colorful clothes? If you do,
Yeah,
fantastic. So make sure, like, the more eye-catching, the better. So the most eye-catching colors are red, orange, yellow. So if you can include any of that in your outfits, whether you're a man or a woman, red will do the trick. It kind of basically, when people see red, it mimics the feeling of falling in love. So your heart starts
yes,
to
yes, yes,
flutter. So you want that in your dating profile. You might
yes,
as well
yes,
give
yes.
yourself.
I
But
agree.
it's also like literally the most eye-catching color on the spectrum. So just having that in your
Okay,
photo will draw people's attention to your photo, and that's half the battle. Sometimes is getting like eyes on your shots. So
absolutely.
yeah, so make sure you're using eye-catching color. And if you don't wear color, so you're like me and you tend to do blacks and neutrals, so then then you need to really be looking for something interesting in your background that's colorful.
Okay.
So for example, if you're in New York, you might head to Bushwick or somewhere, or Williamsburg, where there's some nice bright kind of wall art and bright murals and just like nice colorful walls. Or if you're in LA, you might go to Abbot Kinney, where there's
I love it.
like lots of cute shops and little boutique shops and cafes and things like that. And you can just make sure your friend who's taken the photo is kind of checking in the background to make sure that everything looks just right. But keep it simple, colourful, and kind of something ideally that's adding something to the shot, if or definitely not taking away from it anyway. It's like a sign saying no dumping here, or avoid anything like that. Although
or like a
that could be a good one
that might be
actually.
funny.
That might be funny. Yeah, maybe
And
that
like
one.
yeah, your bed that's not made in the background.
Yeah, yeah,
Your dirty underwear. I mean, we don't
yeah,
need that.
yeah,
Oh God, no.
yeah. There's a lot
And
of
do you
dating
think that
photo
all the
no-nos.
shots? Anyone who's been through a divorce knows co-parenting is not all rainbows and sunshine, especially when alcohol abuse is involved. Pair these challenges with a pandemic, and you have a perfect storm. Soberlink's alcohol monitoring system is the most convenient, reliable, and reasonable way for a parent to provide evidence that they are not drinking during parenting time. Soberlink's real-time alerts make it easy to negotiate with any party. Judges rest assured that the child is safe. Attorneys get court-admissible evidence of sobriety. And both parents have empowerment and peace of mind. Do divorce right and trust the experts in remote alcohol monitoring technology to keep your kids safe, happy, and well-adjusted. To download the guide, 5 non-negotiables for embracing a new normal that I developed with Soberlink, visit www.soberlink.com/DRR. Yeah. Do you think that all the shots should be like the same? Do you like them to tell the story? You think that like to have the same scenario, and is that okay? I mean, I kind of like that.
Uh, so it should
How do you
kind of
feel?
tell a story. Like I suppose the way we like to think of it is when people are planning their shoot, what you can do is think, okay, what would my ideal weekend look like if I was like living my high vibe life and dating someone special or whatever. So you might start with Saturday morning. I like to go to the gym, or I like cycling around the park. So you've got your cycling gear and da 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 da. Then you might be like, well, on Saturday afternoon, I like to do some drawing on my sketch pad, or, I go to a boxing class, or I do a bit of yoga in the park. So really thinking about like what your life is like your real life, your authentic life.
Oh, it's awesome.
And kind of as you're thinking through that, like how can I visually represent that in my photos? And then the evening might be a hot date. So, like, what would I wear for my hot date? Bring that outfit, super important, because then also you'll have a photo that represents you when you're going out on a date. So that's really important,
Right.
as you know. And then Sunday, like maybe you like to go for Sunday brunch, or you like to go to a gallery, something like that. So what would you wear in that situation, or what do you like to do? Maybe you like going skateboarding, or maybe you like, there's everyone's different. So it's kind of like just sitting down and going, okay, what is my like ideal weekend of dating and hanging out and just living my life look like, if my life's a really good life,
Love it.
which is like
I
really
love it.
important. It's really important that before you start dating, you're happy with where you're at in your life. I think that's
Of
super
course.
important, as
Right.
you
Right. I
know.
agree.
So,
Yeah.
and if you're not, if you're thinking, I sit and watch Netflix and in my sweatpants like every minute of every second of the weekend, yeah, I mean that's all right when you're in your
Maybe.
relationship for 10 years, but if you're not, then yeah, that's not what you need to maybe
Right.
like rewind before you start dating, start bringing some interesting things into your life,
I
and then you've
agree.
got stuff to talk about, stuff to include in your
Yes.
profile. That's really important. But
I
yeah,
agree.
so I think that's kind of a really helpful kind of way to plan your shoot and
I love it. I
and
just
and your
love it.
life. What are you
Oh, it's
into?
fabulous. It's just the whole
Yeah,
thing is fabulous. And I think that if people started doing more of this, and if we kind of all got this trend going, like I think in the States around here, even, more so that people would start doing it, and then we'd all start doing it. And then I think there's just be like a happier place on these dating apps. Everyone would just like enjoy it more because my clients are like, it sucks. I hate it. Well, maybe if everyone was a little bit happier, you know,
that's it.
I
I
think,
mean, yeah, if you're at that stage where everything sucks and you hate it, you're kind of
yeah,
not going
don't
to
do it.
be
Yeah.
yeah, you're not going to be getting
No,
good dates, are you? So, I mean,
no, you're
people
not.
read body language, they can read, like, when you create your profile, it'll come across in how you create your profile.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think just take a break and then get happy with your life, or at
I
least,
agree.
have some stuff going on in your life that you're kind of cool with.
Oh, I
And
so
then when you
agree.
come from that place, creating a dating photos is so much easier, as is going on dates, because you've got things to talk about. You're interesting. You're an interesting
Absolutely.
person. You're a happy
Oh, I love
person.
you.
No one's attracted
Yes,
to
I
people
totally
who
agree.
are like in that slump of like everything's a bit rubbish. Like it's not attractive,
Of
is
course.
it?
No, it's not attractive. I agree. Okay, one more question for you. Do you think you should start your profile with a full face shot or full body shot?
Full face shot. So people are looking at the primary shot, trying to decide whether to bother looking at the other photos. So what they want to see is your face, because that's the most
Love it.
important thing. They want to see what you look like. So don't have anything like sunglasses or shadow across your face or low quality image, or make sure it's good, bold, strong, colorful shot. Close up of your face, smiling will attract 14% more attention than non-smiling shots. So it kind of makes sense to have a smiling shot. Like, you want to be
Yeah.
approachable, and you want people to go, oh, they look fun. They look like they know how to have a good time. So that's the kind of primary shot you need to be having. Headshot, looking looking
Looking all
happy,
like,
and
oh,
oh
I'm
yeah,
happy.
I love my
And how do you
life.
feel
It's
about
great.
I love my life. How do you feel about black and white pictures? I get that all the time. Oh, well, I have this great black and white picture from like, I know.
Well, I think the problem with black and white pictures is that most people are posting very neutral colored photos, so blacks, whites, grays, blues. So when you add a black and white shot, um,
Swipe.
yeah, it's kind of it doesn't really stand out.
I
Now,
agree.
unless, I mean, the only caveat I would say is sometimes you get someone will take a black and white shot that is like next level. Like, there's a reason black and white
Okay.
photography is amazing, but most
I
people
agree.
don't have a next level black and white shot of themselves. And if they do, it may look like you're trying too hard in that particular
Yes.
circumstances. But if you happen to have like a wow black and white shot of yourself, maybe throw it in there. But if it's just a bog standard one, I don't think it's going to add anything. It's not going to add anything. Basically, you should have 5 or 6 photos on your profile, and each one has a lot of work to do, because that is not a lot of time to capture someone's attention.
Right.
And if you have more photos than that, what you're doing is giving people more opportunities to want to not date you. And if you have less
I
photos
agree.
than that, then they're going to be like, ooh, this person hasn't got many photos. What's wrong with them? So kind of 5 or 6, 4 to 6 is the ideal number. So that's really not a lot of opportunity to grab people's attention. This is why every shot needs to be
No.
about you, not like your mates, and not like your cat and your favorite plant. Forget it. It needs to be about
Or the
you. You need to be
sunset.
the star,
Why
or
do
a
people do that?
sunset. Yeah, like,
Oh,
why
I'm like,
why
why? Why? Oh, I
waste?
just, it's so
It's such a
frustrating.
waste.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, you got
waste.
to think of it as
Such a
like your
waste.
premium, like, advertising space. You're not going to do that if
Yes.
you're advertising something and paying money for it. So make sure it's about you. And ideally,
Absolutely.
if it could tell a story, like, so you need like the full body shot, you need the face, the head cut, the gorgeous headshot, and you need the personality shots as well. So you doing sport, you doing something you love, especially creative or whatever you're into, or reading, or and then and a talking point photo is really good as well. So if you're into
Oh,
something unusual, or there's or you've got a book that's a little bit controversial or something, include that, because it's basically, as you know, and your clients know, I'm sure, is that making, like, finding reasons to connect with people and what to say in that first message is really hard. So the more you can give people an in, like something interesting on your profile, so they can go, hey, I saw that you're reading that book, like, da 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 da, or hey, I saw you holding this weird, like, martial art thing. What do you do? It's kind of like, give them something
yes.
to
That's
ask.
great.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Okay, I have 2 questions for you. First of all, how do you feel about kids in pictures?
Oh my God, no. Okay, I'm really, really,
Okay, I'm
really
right. I'm right.
anti.
Yay.
I'm really anti kids. There's a like, if
Okay,
you
good.
think about it, like, you don't know who's on dating apps and who's hanging out there.
Thank you.
Do you
Good.
want to use?
No.
You're basically pimping out your kid to get dates. I
I
think
just
there's a
wanted to make sure that I was right.
Okay, yeah, no, there's a time and a place for
Okay,
showing
good.
people baby photos. And I personally think it would be on a first date if you're connecting really well.
Sure.
I think, yeah, when I met my partner, he showed me his kids on the first date. And
Yeah,
I think
me too.
that's nice, because we're connecting and we like each other and I'm interested. But seeing that, I don't need to see them on his dating app. And also, I've had people who use other people's kids. Oh my God. So, like, that's
Wait,
awful.
what?
If those people knew
Oh,
you were
that's
using their
creepy.
kids, that's really creepy. And
Oh, that is
also,
so creepy.
and it's so weird, like, what message are you saying? I like other people's
No,
kids. I don't know. There's a lot wrong with
no,
that. So yeah, that's a big
that's a
fat no
lot
from
wrong
me.
with that. That is okay.
Yeah.
Good. I just want to make sure. And then one more question: how often do we update our pictures? Like, what do you think is a fair?
Yeah, I usually say swap them in and out probably every 4 to 6 weeks. It depends what kind of action you're getting. Maybe
Okay.
if you're not getting a lot, then maybe experiment and try some different ones. And to our clients, I also say, you can use like maybe four professional looking ones or Hey Saturday ones, and then you can have like a one or two of you like from holiday snaps or something to mix into it, but definitely have the
Okay.
core as good quality shots. But yeah, if you have like a pool of shots that you can keep swapping in, and it's really important to keep your profile fresh.
Okay, but how long can you keep a picture up? Like, is how long
Mm.
can you go back? Is what I'm saying. Like, is a year to my
Oh,
clients are
okay.
they're like, oh, I have this picture from 1950. I'm like, yeah, no,
Oh.
no.
Yeah,
I looked
no.
really
So
good in high school. I'm like, yeah, no, you can't.
I think general rule of thumb is your photos shouldn't be more than 18 months old.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good.
The
Thank you.
older you
Thank you.
get, the shorter that window.
I
Okay.
know
So
it.
when you're in your 50s, and I can say this because I'm there, you start to shrink that window because
Okay,
things start happening at a rapid
I
pace.
know.
So yeah, definitely shrink the window. But if you're young, then if you're in your 20s, then you don't need to kind of update it that much. If you
Okay.
change your look quite drastically, like your hair color or your hairstyle, or your beard or non-beard, it's worth keeping things. You want basically rule of
Yes.
thumb. You need to look like you do in your photos as you will when you show up on a date, like pretty much. Like obviously, they need
I
to be able
mean,
to
you would
recognize
think,
you.
you would, right. You would think that would be the case.
Super
Although
important.
sometimes I sit, I'm like, really? Because you didn't look anything like that yesterday. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just my poor clients. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
if I
super
ever date
important.
again,
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
ever date again, I'm gonna, I'll be flying to LA or New York to find you, just so you know.
Yeah, it's super important because a lot of people, and this is probably one of the main reasons I set up Hey Saturday, was a lot of people will show up not looking anything like their photos. They might be heavier, they might have less hair, they might be, whatever it is, and think that it's okay because once you're in front of them, they're going to win you over with their amazing personality. It never works like that. And the reason is, as I'm sure you know, is that people are looking for a connection, like they're looking for trust in a relationship. If you want a
Yes.
long-term relationship, you want trust, right? So like meeting someone for like in your very first meeting, you've kind of deceived them because you don't look anything like your photos. Where's the trust going to come from? That's literally before they've
No
even
trust.
sat down. There's no trust. So it doesn't
None.
matter if you were like the most amazing date after that. You've already lost them. They're not interested.
Absolutely.
So so it's super important that you are always honest and authentic in your photos in order to secure a second date.
Oh, I love that. Yes, it's so true. Okay, so here's the thing also I was thinking about. I think it would make a great present to give someone to give someone like a gift certificate or a gift card
Yeah,
to Hey
yeah,
Saturday. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if someone gets divorced or someone gets whatever, they're back out there after a breakup. What a fantastic present. I'm thinking of
yeah.
people that I know. Like, what a great gift to give someone, like, a photo shoot with you. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
we
that's
do get a lot
fantastic.
of people buy around
Oh, do
Christmas
you?
time and stuff, but I love the idea of like as part of a divorce package or something.
Yes.
Or
Do you
like
know what I'm saying?
yeah, when the divorce has finally come through, which is usually a couple of years
Yes.
later, isn't it? Now's the time.
Yes.
Let's have a
Now's
yeah,
the
I love
time. And like,
that.
here you go. What a fantastic. I'm thinking of my girlfriends that are like, that need you. I'm thinking, I have a couple in New York and LA that I could just shoot your way. I mean, I'm thinking, yeah. Oh my God, fantastic. I think this is brilliant. I have my photographer here in Charlotte. I'm like, you have to listen to this. I think you're fantastic. She needs
Thank
to do
you.
what you're doing.
Thank
You're
you.
gonna,
Thank you.
it's,
And I would
it's
love to offer
awesome.
your readers, your listeners, a 10% discount. So that's not a problem as
Oh,
well.
oh my gosh, that's
So
amazing.
if
So you know what? I'll
anyone
put that in the
books,
show notes.
yeah, that's no problem. Happy to do
Oh,
that.
Saskia, I love you. Thank you so much, darling. I think you're fantastic. Wait, I have one more thing. Is this true about the plants? The latest trend about the plants?
Yeah. plant
I saw that on
plant
your feed.
parents, yeah, plant parents are where it's at. I mean, to be fair, I think that was coming out of the millennial vibe, but yeah, I really like that. I think that's kind of cute.
I do too.
And
I thought it
I
was so cute.
totally get it as well, because if you're the sort of person who loves plants and cares about plants, it's kind of like loving a dog, isn't it? It just says,
Yes.
oh, they can look after something and make it live. That's
They can
bodes
make it.
well in this world. Yeah.
I would probably kill a plant. That's just so mean to kill a plant.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can only I
that's
can only have cacti, otherwise it's game
yeah,
over.
yes. I can do a cactus. I can do that for sure. What are they called? Succulents? I can
Yeah,
handle that.
that's
I
it.
can handle
Yeah.
Okay, and tell everybody where they can find you the easiest on Instagram and your website, right?
Yeah, Instagram's great. It's heysaturday.co on Instagram. And our website's
Awesome. Awesome.
heysaturday.co as well. So yeah, just
Awesome.
connect.
And
If
I'm
you've
going
got
to put
any
everything in the show
questions
notes.
about dating photos or anything like that, just slide into my DMs or contact me via the website. It's not a problem.
Awesome. Thank you so much, honey, for being here. I love this. I love you. I think what you're doing is fantastic. Keep it up. And
Thank
everybody, if
you.
you are dating right now, if you are dating, fix your profile pictures. Get out there and be happy and put up positivity and all that good stuff. Everybody, you know where to find me, jenniferhurwitz.com. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome weekend. Peace, love, and so much truth. Thank you, Saskia. See you soon, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.